Have you ever heard someone say, "Just whisper into the ear, the pain will ease"? It sounds like superstition. A soft voice, spoken close, as if words themselves could calm a nerve or undo the ache hiding deep inside the ear canal. But here's the strange thing. Across history, in medieval villages, desert tribes, and even among battlefield medics, whispering into an ear wasn't just comfort. It was a treatment. Whispers were believed to carry more than sound. They were said to move energy, to balance pressure, even to frighten away the spirit of pain itself. And there are stories of people recovering from deafness, dizziness, even infection after nothing more than a low murmur beside the ear. So, what's the truth? Can sound, especially gentle human speech, really affect the body from the inside out? Tonight, as we gently remove layers of wax and slowly open this blocked ear to the world again, I'll tell you the oddly forgotten tale of the whisper cure. Let's begin. Asterisk, asterisk, let's begin with the oldest medicine of all, the voice. Long before antibiotics or even the word pain, people used the only tools they had: their hands, their breath, and their words. In the cradle of civilization, ancient Mesopotamia, there are clay tablets that describe a ritual called ear calming. A priest or healer would place their lips close to the patient's ear and whisper a sacred phrase 3 times. The wind leaves, the pain sleeps, the ear opens. The belief was simple, that pain had a spirit, a presence that could be coaxed out by softness, and that the whisper, not shouted, not sung, was the only sound the spirit would obey. Centuries later, in ancient Egypt, the temple of Imhotep housed a quiet chamber where people suffering from headaches and ear pain would lie in darkness while priests whispered healing hymns, not into the air, but directly into their ears. The sound was soft, monotonous, deliberate. Some say the whispers acted like medicine for the nervous system, slowing the heartbeat, relaxing the muscles, and creating the illusion, or perhaps the reality, of healing in rural China. During the Han Dynasty, whispering into the ear was part of a treatment called wind dispelling. Healers believed certain pains were caused by wind trapped in the body. To release it, they would heat herbal oils, apply them to the back of the neck, and speak a calming incantation directly into the ear canal, believing the vibration would break the wind's grip. And in India, Vedic medicine taught that the Vata dosha, the wind element, lived in the ears. To soothe Vata, practitioners would use warm sesame oil and recite mantras, again, directly into the ears, believing the sound created balance inside the body. It seems strange now. But every culture had some version of this. In medieval Europe, midwives whispered prayers into the ears of sick children. Soldiers on the battlefield whispered words of comfort to fallen friends, not just to soothe the soul, but to ease pain. The belief was never that words were magic. It was something deeper. That sound itself, especially the gentle vibrations of a whisper, could change how the body felt from the inside. And here's the interesting part. Modern science doesn't completely disagree. Studies in audiology have shown that low-frequency sounds, like whispers, create soft vibrations that travel differently through the ear canal. These sounds stimulate the parasympathetic nervous system, which lowers stress, slows heart rate, and reduces inflammation. Whispers may also trigger the release of oxytocin, a chemical linked to safety and connection in ASMR communities. Whispers are known to produce tingles, a calm, euphoric sensation that many say helps them sleep, relax, or even reduce pain. So maybe those ancient healers were onto something. The whisper wasn't just symbolic. It was physical, neurological, and emotional. It was the first tool we had before ointments, pills, or procedures. And for something as intimate as ear pain, maybe the best remedy really was a voice, close, soft, and full of care. Asterisk, asterisk, let's journey forward. Because whisper cures didn't just live in the hands of healers. They found their way into religion. In early Christian monastic life, monks were forbidden to speak loudly. Yet, when illness struck, especially pain of the head or ears, they had a ritual. One monk would kneel beside the sick brother, press his hands near the ears, and whisper a psalm in Latin, word by word, in rhythm with the breath. It was called the ear prayer. It wasn't a plea for healing. It was a reminder that even in suffering, the body could be calmed with presence. In Islamic tradition, there are whispered prayers known as rucha, spoken softly into the ears of those afflicted with pain or restlessness. It's believed that soft recitation can purify both the heart and the body. The Jewish Kabbalistic mystics whispered the names of God into the ears of those in spiritual or physical distress, believing each sound held healing vibration. In the Tibetan Bon tradition, whispers were used not just for healing, but for guiding the dying into a peaceful state, spoken close, over and over, until the breath stilled. Why so many whispers? Because a whisper bypasses defense. It doesn't alert the body like a shout. It slides under the noise. It's private, intimate, and strangely powerful. When someone whispers to you, you instinctively lean in. Your ears perk. Your mind slows. And in that slowing, something softens inside you. Today, whisper healing has re-emerged just under a different name. It's called sound therapy or neuromodulation. Doctors now use controlled audio, sometimes whispers, sometimes tones, to treat patients with tinnitus, migraines, and even PTSD. Some of these treatments involve headphones that play a low-frequency murmur into just one ear, shifting the brain's electrical activity away from pain centers. This therapy can calm the vagus nerve, which controls inflammation and stress response. It can reduce neural overactivity, quieting parts of the brain linked to chronic pain. In short, whispers don't just feel good, they can help us heal. There's also the phenomenon known as the Lombard effect, where people speak louder when surrounded by noise, and softer in quiet environments. But when a whisper is used intentionally, especially close to the ear, it triggers a brain response known as affective touch through sound. It feels like someone is gently brushing your skin, even though they're only using their voice. That's why ASMR videos, like the one you're watching now, have exploded in popularity. Because in a world of too much noise, the whisper has become a kind of medicine. And it turns out, our ears are built to notice whispers. The cochlea, that spiral-shaped organ deep in your ear, is most sensitive to soft sounds between 2,000 and 5,000 hertz. That's right, where a human whisper lives. We evolved to recognize it, not to fear it, but to feel safe with it. It's the sound of closeness, of secrets, of lullabies, and comfort, and connection. Maybe that's why, when someone whispers to us in a time of pain, we don't just hear it, we feel it. Asterisk, asterisk, so now. We arrive at the quietest part of our story, because whispers weren't always about medicine. They were about connection. Think of the moments in your life when someone leaned in close and whispered something just for you, not to impress, not to shout, but to reach you. Maybe it was a parent singing a lullaby beside your crib, or a friend whispering comfort through tears, or a lover telling you something that made your skin tingle, not because of the words, but because of the tone, that closeness, that intimacy, that sound moving gently through your ear canal, tickling your nerves, settling your chest. It's no wonder ancient people believed pain could hear, and that pain would leave when the right words were said the right way in some old Slavic villages. There's a practice called the whisper charm. When a child has an earache, the grandmother whispers, "Little spirit, leave the ear, find the wind, low far from here. Then she cups the ear with her palm and gently rocks the child in silence. No oils, no medicine, just breath, voice, and presence. And often the pain fades, not because of magic, but because someone showed up and made the ache feel heard. Modern science can measure sound waves, track neural activity, and prove that low tones reduce pain. But it still can't fully explain why the whisper feels so healing. Maybe it's because a whisper can't be ignored. You have to stop to hear it. You have to be still, and maybe that stillness is part of the cure. So as we end this gentle journey and your ears feel lighter, cleaner, more open, take a moment to listen, not to the loud world, but to the quiet one, to your breath, to your thoughts, to the way your body softens when no one is yelling, when no one is rushing, when everything for a moment feels slow and safe. Thank you for spending this time with us, for trusting your ears and your quiet curiosity with inside ear care. And next time you feel pain, don't be afraid to whisper something kind into your own ear, because sometimes the body doesn't need noise. It needs attention, and attention, whispered gently, can heal more than we realize. Sleep well, or carry this softness into the rest of your day. You've heard enough. Let the silence take over now. Good night.